minutes and you take no prisoners. 1 minute you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The revolution starts now.
We have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Turn those machines back on!
And we have to start by building a wall, a big, beautiful, powerful wall.
Show me the money!
You are fake news.
Oh, good for you. And how was it?
I don't know when they decided that they wanted to make a virtue out of selfishness.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on Earth.
Because that's the revolution here on Lake Effect Radio. Streaming live at lakeeffectradio.com/studio. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing all right, Jeremy. How's it going?
Yeah, going.
Yeah.
Cool night in that. You're in the house.
I'm
Kevin
in the house.
Conaway in the house.
I am right here, live and in person.
Are you sure?
I mean, I'm at least 75% sure.
Okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. Not including the whole looping pedals and all that.
Yeah, I decided to bring all of my gear today because I felt like the last couple of times I've been here, I didn't have enough stuff to carry. So today, hey, why not? Let's bring it all.
But it is a nice day out.
It is, yeah, this is true. It's significantly warmer than the last time I was here.
Not going better than Sunday.
Yeah, also true. I was actually, so what's funny enough is I was actually out of town on Sunday, so I completely missed that whole snowstorm. I was hanging out with my buddy Mike McFarland, who is a regular on these interview shows too. We were down in South New Jersey where it was like 55 degrees and sunny and beautiful, and I'm looking at pictures, scrolling through my Facebook feed of people showing like 6, 7, 8 inches of snow in their backyards, going like, what is going on back home?
This is what happens when you and Michael leave the state.
I know, apparently
it
so.
It falls apart.
Yeah. I mean, we did drive through some of it on our way back on Sunday night too. Like we hit a few pockets of blizzard conditions. I'm looking at the clock on it's going to be April in 4 hours. Like, what is going on here? This yeah. But that's such as weather. That's Northeast Ohio. I remember there was a year where I made that same trip. I've been going to. So I guess actually this is the beginning of a story.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? We'll segue right into it. So the reason that we're in South New Jersey is Michael and I we were at a music conference called Singer-Songwriter Cape May, which is just a random music conference that I happened to stumble on years ago. I've been going now for 11 years. I started going there in 2008 when they started the event. The only year that I missed was 2011, but I've gone every year since then. And so the very first year that I went out there, I remember the same thing happened. It was like a random weekend in late March. It's always in late March for this event, and there was some kind of just crazy snowpocalypse event that happened in Northeast Ohio during the weekend that I was out there, to the point where I'm sitting in a bar on a beach in South New Jersey, eating breakfast at this bar and watching the TV, and the TV is tuned to the national news, and there's a reporter in Cleveland talking about the weather conditions, and behind the reporter is a plow truck that's stuck in the snow. I'm like, holy crap, even the plow is stuck in the snow. That's my hometown. That's where I have to drive back to in 2 days. Like, what is going on here? But go figure, by the time I turned around and drove back, I had completely missed it. It all melted. So just missed the entire thing. It was, the timing couldn't have been better.
State of Ohio, just, while Kevin's gone and that he's at his conference and that, forget it.
Right, yeah. Just out gallivanting. Yeah, exactly. It's weird. It's funny the way that works out. And this year was the same thing. Just when we were hanging out, it was sunny, it was beautiful, and back home you guys were getting 6 inches of snow.
And me in my area, we didn't get really hit that bad.
That's good.
It was more just, it just froze.
Yeah. It was surreal driving back, though. I got to admit, like driving back in a blizzard and seeing snow on the ground, thinking to myself, like, Did I drive through a time warp? And is it 2 months ago now? should I?
How long was I really out there?
Yeah. How long was I out there? What's going on? The passage of time travels slower out in New Jersey. Like, well, I was wondering if I should break my ski bag back out or something again. I thought I was done with that for the season, but maybe I could get one more run in.
I could see that. I could see that.
Not gonna lie, the thought crossed my mind.
That's fair enough. And even though I'm not huge on skiing, yeah, that would have passed through the mind, and that, driving back, and then you just see that, it's like, yeah.
I used to be really big on it when I was younger. I'd been skiing. I think I started skiing, honestly, when I was 4 or 5 years old, and did it a lot when I was younger and through my teen years. When I went to college was pretty much when I stopped doing it, because now, I'm a broke college kid and I can't afford to go, and my family wasn't taking trips anymore either. So there was a good 17-year gap where I never went. And then I think it was 2 years ago, I was sitting in a bar with Mike McFarland again. It's weird how most of my stories involve him now these days. So I was sitting in a bar with him and just randomly sort of complaining about how much I miss skiing, and every year I keep saying I'm going to do it again and I never do. And he was like, well, dude, why don't we? Huh. Well, that's a compelling argument.
Yeah, because you guys were out.
I don't have an
Colorado.
answer for that. No, we haven't made it out to Colorado. That's a goal of mine, but yeah, I've never been out to.
Where were you guys in June? Was it December or January?
So I went out to Colorado in September, not for skiing, but I went out there for the Great American Beer Fest, which that was awesome. So I get now we're touching on another one of my passions. So I like beer. If you're listening to us right now on the radio or online, and you're looking for some social media stuff, to follow me on, I have all of them, but I'm also on Untapped, so you can look for me on there, and you can see all the beers that I check in and what I comment and stuff about them. But I'm a huge fan of the local beer scene, and that's honestly that's how I judge a city when I go and travel somewhere, is how good are your breweries? So I got to go check them all out and stuff. And I've been going to the Cleveland Beer Fest now for years, and then this year we finally made it out to. Me and two of my buddies went out to Denver, Colorado for the Great American Beer Fest, which is the biggest beer festival in the country. So we spent 2 days out there and tried, I don't know, probably close to 200 different beers or something ridiculous like that. But it was fantastic. It was a great weekend, and I would totally do it again.
You would.
Absolutely.
Especially your second sentence and that had the word beer in it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's how we started off in that. Even before even coming in.
Right. That is true. I'll consider that to be a Freudian slip, but who knows? Maybe I was just thirsty.
No one will know.
I mean,
maybe.
I'm not saying I'm not.
Fair enough.
There we go.
Fair enough. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, the drummer showed up early. That's it.
Pretty much. But we'll never know.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got some new stuff for you guys.
All right. I know you always come prepared. So.
Yeah, you want to see what instead of drinking that New Year's Day, what do? I sit here and come up with a 3-page thing.
Those survey questions or something?
No, for you guys, actually. And the sad thing is I've been, plucking here and there and some of them. Not all of them, and that no one's seen the whole exact list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The secret list. Well, that's good. You don't want to reveal everything. It's stuff that you can reuse for later.
It's some. I do some are sort of the same, or swap them, add a few of the other random ones, and that. I get bored.
Yeah, well, we all do.
Now, see, I need to pick up going to beer festivals instead of doing this.
To each their own. You're probably spending a lot less money on writing stuff down than I am spending.
But I look a little bit crazy.
Dollars on beers. But
I look a little crazy with all the writing.
I mean, we all look crazy in some way or some form.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Like this. What is your favorite 90s jam?
What is what?
What is your favorite 90s jam?
My favorite 90s jam? So when I was in high school back in the 90s, because I'm old, I was a big fan of like 80s and classic rock and all that kind of stuff. Like I was the kid that was wearing the Pink Floyd t-shirt when all of my other friends were wearing Blink-182 t-shirts. So the weird thing is, like, they all kind of made fun of me because I was listening to quote unquote old people music, and like I would hear their stuff and I would feel like an old person going like, I don't understand the music that you kids are listening to. And it's weird because we all sort of went in opposite directions. Like by the time we all kind of got out of high school, they all sort of discovered, hey, all the classic rock and the 80s stuff, that was actually really good. And then it was sort of after the 90s had passed, that was when I sort of came around also and went, hey man, like all that stuff that you guys were listening to back when it was new and fresh is really good. Now I really love it. So I guess that didn't answer the question. It was just a big roundabout story. But
it's fine.
I think that some of my favorite 90s groups, or at least my favorite groups that had a high level of popularity in the 90s, for me, have always been Oasis. I love them. Noel Gallagher is actually one of my biggest writing and playing influences. I actually the hoodie that I wore in today which is sitting in the other room is a Noel Gallagher hoodie. So yeah, Oasis is one of my top ones. Toad the Wet Sprocket has always been I guess I can't say always been, but Toad the Wet Sprocket is one of my favorite bands and has been a huge influence on my writing and my playing and my singing style also. So I've gotten into a lot of those types of bands, like the 90s alt rock bands. That being said, I also loved a lot. I was big into like some metal and that type of stuff too. I want to say it was, I think 1999 is when Dream Theater's Scenes from a Memory came out, which is one of my top 3 albums ever. So nice. That was another huge. I can't really call it an influence because I obviously don't play or write that style, but it was something that I loved and continue to love this day. So I don't know if I can pick a single 90s song or artist or band or something to say that it's my absolute favorite, but those are some of the top ones.
Fair enough, that works.
Yeah. Oh, Our Lady Peace also, I loved them and still love them as well. They're the band that I've seen the live most.
Hey, the funny thing is how I came up with that question. I was listening to your stuff and then remember all the different lists you keep throwing up on Facebook and that. You're sort of the basis of why that's a question.
Nice. I'm happy to have influenced that. And I really do love making lists and ranking things and stuff, so it makes sense.
So, see, you have influence.
There we go. That's awesome.
And hello, no. I'm actually abbreviating their name out there. That shot. Question out.
Is somebody?
Well, not really a question, but what's up?
Somebody's chiming in.
Yeah.
Oh, hello there. How's it going?
Just moseying around. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to answer for them. It happens and that. But what's your most favorite thing about this line of work?
I think the fact that I don't consider it to be a line of work. As weird of an answer as that is.
Not necessarily.
Because, to be honest with you, it's I consider it a business, and obviously, like a business, I'm trying to grow it, and it would be nice to make as much profit from it as I possibly could. And I claim all that stuff on my taxes and all that kind of stuff too. And, obviously like going to the music conference and whatnot, I'm trying to learn more about it and make myself better and make better business decisions along with it. But it's not my main line of employment. It's not what pays my bills or pays my rent. It is something that I do on the side. And I think if I ever got to the point where I was considering it in my head to be work and not fun, I think that's the point in time where I would want to not do it anymore. So I guess to answer the question, yeah, it would be just the fact that it's something that I'm passionate about, love doing, but in my head, it's not work.
See, that's what I was going to go and say. Yeah, if you're passionate, it's not really working,
right?
In that,
yeah, and
you gotta have a sort of love, passion.
Yeah, you absolutely do, and it's great too, because the last couple of years, this whole side of my life has gotten a lot busier, and so obviously, as far if we're talking about business growth. I have been growing it, and I have been doing a lot better at this over the last probably 2 or 3 years since I've been putting a lot more focus into it. And I guess one of the things that I always kind of constantly worry about that is, like, I don't know where the line is of where if I start doing it too much, am I going to get burnt out from it? And that's happened to me in previous passions and things like that too. And I definitely recognize that aspect of my personality to where I can get too into something and I can devote too much of my time to it and I can get burnt out from it. And I don't ever want that to happen here, but I haven't hit that line yet. So that's good. Like even as busy as I've been with it over the last couple of years, I'm still, like, if there's a weekend that comes along where I don't have a show or I don't have anything music related going on, I actually kind of miss it, which is a great feeling to have, because then I know that I haven't ruined the passion or anything. So that's
fair enough.
That's fantastic.
Fair enough. That's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Especially, you're out Geneva on the lake and all that. Yeah, right across to you. Once out there.
Yeah, right.
You and Kim Kennedy were out there. Was it St. Patty's Day?
Yeah, we did a St. Patrick's Day show there, which was awesome. It was a lot of fun. So I think that's the second St. Patrick's Day show that I've played. Normally I don't really tend to book them because I get, like, I don't know. I just sort of have this weird aversion to wanting to play really super busy bars, like, and Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like constantly worried about just drunk people spilling stuff on my gear and like knocking things over and just like being disrespectful or whatever like that. And that's the idea that I sort of have in my head of St. Patrick's Day. And I've heard stories of that at other bars from people that have like been playing shows and stuff like that. And it's like, I would just rather avoid that. But the two shows that I have played for St. Patrick's Day, both of them have been at breweries, which, I mean, over the last couple of years, I've done a better job of booking myself in places like that, breweries, wineries, a little bit more upscale places where I don't necessarily have to worry about that type of crowd. So, yeah, the last time I played one was at a brewery out in Columbiana, which is out near Youngstown, and then this time Kim and I were playing together up in Geneva on the Lake Brewing. And, I mean, it was a fun crowd. It was, I'm not going to say that it wasn't packed there, but, like, there was a good amount of people to where the place was busy. Like it was a good healthy crowd, and nobody was out of line or anything like that. Everybody was just having fun. Like we played some songs that people were really into. There's a point where I played a Flogging Molly cover and literally had the entire band shouting along with me to the lyrics and stuff. Like I could have backed away from the mic and just gone, "You guys take it." Like it was a lot of fun. And the other thing that was really cool about that night too was that they were doing kind of a joint, I want to say joint venture, but I don't think that's the right word. Kind of like a joint party with another bar that's down the street, an Irish bar called Murphy's Irish Pub. And there's a whole bunch of guys, like a whole bunch of men and women from Murphy's that were in there, and like they're legit Irish, like full accents and everything. So they were in there selling T-shirts for charity and that kind of stuff. And then when Kim and I would take a break from our set, they would get up and get behind the mic and do like a cappella old school Irish songs where they'd sing like 2 or 3, and then they'd come off, and Kim and I would go back and play a next set, and then we go off, take a break. They'd come up and do like 3 songs too, and it was really cool. It was like just an awesome experience. So that was a super fun.
It
night.
wasn't even completely planned. It sort of just happened.
No, so it was planned. Like that was
them to go.
Yeah. So that was they had worked that out with the management there, and Kim knew about it and stuff like that too. So, but yeah, it was really cool. It was an awesome night, a lot of fun. And I got to play a whole bunch of Irish covers, which those are fun too.
Yeah, that's a bonus in that. Of course, Tim's out there. Is Tom Brady softer than Cristiano Ronaldo?
I feel like I answered this question the last time I was here, but I don't remember what answer I gave. So I will say that I'm not a soccer fan. So I will say that Cristiano Ronaldo is softer, but I'm biased because I'm not a fan of soccer. So I apologize if that was the wrong answer.
No, that's a correct answer in his. Now just watch. He's going to sit there, go back, and find that other interview and go through it and see what you say.
We'll see how I answered it then.
I could see him doing that, sadly. Sadly enough, I could actually see that. Your favorite venue in performing around the area?
That's a really tough one too. I think that I guess there's a couple of different ways that I could approach this. Like I had mentioned, I play a lot of wineries and breweries, and if I go play a place that has a good crowd and treats me well, and also has some tasty beverages that I'm able to have while I'm there, I'm very happy with the experience. And then on the other side, So I guess I look at those as sort of their own thing, and then there's also concert venues, which is just a completely different experience, because they're the emphasis is on the music. So I'm usually there with a couple of other people, and we're playing different sets, and it's just a really good sound system, and as opposed to using my own gear and all that kind of stuff. So that's a totally different animal also. I would say overall, I think as far as concert venues go, my favorite place that I've played at, and probably actually one of my favorite places to see a show as well, is Musica down in Akron, because it's a nice, smaller, intimate feel, and their sound system is amazing. Just everything sounds everything sounds amazing in that place. From whether I'm on stage and hearing when I'm playing, or just in the crowd watching somebody else, it blows my mind how good literally every band that I've ever seen in there sounds. So there you go.
No, that's fair enough. Sort of breaking. Not many people would go and break that down of, to the two different scenarios.
Yeah. Sometimes I worry that I'm too analytical of a person to be playing music.
Not necessarily, because they are two different things.
Yeah, I mean that's the way my brain works. Is like everything gets broken down into analytics, and if I can use a spreadsheet on something, I will.
That's funny. That's funny. Oh, Tim said that was wrong. I doubt that. I think he's lying.
What now?
Your answer.
For the Tom Brady thing?
Yeah. He doesn't like Tom Brady.
Well, what are you gonna do?
So technically, yeah, that's not wrong. Silly Tim. I know that you were saying before now, were you working on a new EP in that?
So, yes, I actually have several different projects in the pipeline at the moment. I just kind of recently changed around how I'm approaching all these projects at right now. So I am hopefully going to be releasing an EP of newly recorded music later this year. It'll be a 6-song EP. And I'm working with Jeffrey Koval over at Stay Level Studios down in Cuyahoga Falls area on that. So that'll hopefully be later this year, maybe this fall or this winter. I'm also working on an EP of satirical Christmas songs, which I'm also hoping to have out this year. But that one, I don't know. That one might not make it out in time for this year. That might be a next year thing. But we'll see how the timing and everything works out for it. And then also at the same time, I am working with Mike McFarland at his studio, and I'm working on a full-length album, which that I'm hoping to have ready sometime in 2020. We are close to having it done, but far away from having it done, if that makes any sense. like I'm seeing a light at the tunnel,
but
it's still pretty far away. So I'm thinking we're probably
still the final thing.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of a ways to go, but
occasional little procrastination of I said that's fine, but
right, yeah. So we got a little ways to go on that one, but I'll have the EP out hopefully this year, which will give me something new to promote and really get behind until we get that album out. So yeah, there should be hopefully a steady stream of recorded music coming out from me over the next year or two. So that's
the Christmas album, that was new. You didn't say anything about that back in November.
Yeah, so that I think back in November I didn't really have a good grasp in my mind of how I wanted to approach these projects, and back in November I think I want to say I had one Christmas song that I was doing, and I was sort of thinking, maybe I'll release that as a single. I'm not totally sure what I'll do with it yet. That has since turned into, hey, let's make a full EP out of this. Like I'll write a few extra songs and just record them all and make it its own thing. So that's kind of where I'm at with that right now.
Cool.
Yeah. So hopefully. I mean, if you guys do this twice a year, right? April and November usually. So hopefully come November.
Well, not putting even people a little before those.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, hopefully the next time I'm in, I might have some new music to be promoting.
I like it.
Me too.
It's crazy and outlandish. Landish. Wow, I'm brain farting.
Landish.
Yeah.
There you go. Forget I throw you a lifeline there.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So when I'm on, dear old, that one last, phone call away and that from getting $1 million, I'll make sure to reach out to you. They give you over, $100,000 and that for picking up the phone.
Hey man, I appreciate that. I'll be waiting diligently by that phone.
But yeah, we should get to some music in that.
All right. Well, I did bring a bunch of gear. I could play some stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's play some stuff. So I probably should. What did I do with my? Oh, there it is. It's weird how
guitar pick.
Yeah, guitar picks have a talent for disappearing, especially if you're at a gig and you drop the guitar pick while you're playing a song. That thing is gone forever. You will never find it again. It disintegrates on its way to the ground and ends up in like Narnia or something like that. At least that's the theory that I have.
True. I've seen it quite a lot.
Yeah, that's happened to me countless times. And I'll drop a pick halfway through a song, and I'll have to just use fingers and whatnot. And by the time I get done with the song, my fingers are all raw and in pain, and I'm probably bleeding. Like, man, all right, I got to get that pick. I'm looking around everywhere, gone, totally gone.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing.
Yeah. That's usually when it reappears, though, after I'm done with the gig completely and tearing up my stuff. I'm like, oh, that's where that went. It was literally there the whole time. No, it wasn't. It reappeared, actually. Oh, hey, I've been recording a loop this whole time. Whoops. I'll turn that off.
Oopsies.
So, I have all of my gear with me here today. I think the last couple of times that I've been on the show, I've just brought the guitar.
Yeah, just the
and
guitar.
we just kind of done some basic, like basics, the wrong word for it, but just some stripped down stuff. But I figure I always bring whenever I'm playing live, I always bring a ton of gear with me. I've got pedals and looper pedals and like other various gadgets and stuff like that I'll bring too. So I figured, you know what, today, why not bring it? Let's try
join the ranks of everyone else.
Yeah, because everybody else is doing it too. So why not?
It's a good chunk,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got you, Nat.
All right, so I'm going to play a song for you, which I don't think I've played on this program before. It's called Carousel. This is actually going to be on the upcoming EP. So
nice.
Yeah, so later this year, whenever that's out, that song will be on it. Told me not to come round here, but look what I found here. Came here looking for closure, but it's overexposure. And here we go again. We go round and round on this carousel. It looks like heaven, but feels like hell. Like a captain who's lost the chart, we're going round and round and back to the start. Tried to write a new ending, but I was pretending. Once again I'm afflicted, just as predicted. And the cycle starts again. We go round and round on this carousel. It looks like heaven, but feels like hell. Like a captain who's lost the chart, we're going round and back to the start. Round and round on this carousel. The same old ride, but we know it well. We are actors who play our parts. We're going round and back to the start. And I resisted, but you persisted. And now we're strapped in for another ride. The lights are blinding, restraints are binding. And when it's through, I'll get back in line. Once again I've been captured, I'll wait for the rapture. Really thought this was finished, now I'm diminished. We go round and round on this carousel. It looks like heaven, but feels like hell. Like a captain who's lost the chart, we're going round and back to the start. Round and round on this carousel. The same old ride, but we know it well. We are actors who play our parts. We're going round and back to the start. sound of applause never gets old.
I get ya. I get ya. Yeah, I was over on Instagram Live and that with that.
Nice.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one reason why I had my pair of headphones like that. You're probably thinking, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, I figured you were getting it in the phone microphone. Phone microphone. That just sounds weird to say. But it's true. It's the technical term, I guess.
Let's see. My mic being weird. I finally... Oh, that person. They don't matter as a person.
Wow. Whoever you are, I think that you matter.
It's a random guy who just comes out and trolls every once in a while.
Well, never mind, then you're right.
Pretty much about, yeah. Ish. In a way, in that. So, I'll go into this. So, if you had to give advice to someone that's first starting out wanting to get into music, what would be some advice that you would give them?
Learn music theory, I think, is because that will go, especially if you're looking to write, that will go a long, long way in helping you, I guess, understand what it is that you're doing. For me, again, though, I mean, we sort of touched on the way my mind works and like the way that sort of everything is kind of really analytical in my mind. And for me, learning theory, to be able to kind of know why the notes work with each other and why certain chords work with each other when others don't, and why certain song structures work while others don't. Being able to actually have that knowledge was just an extreme eye-opener, and it's such a huge help as far as writing goes. Like, every time I learn something new in my theory classes, I'm like, wow, that's amazing, and that's why that works. And then go home and like start writing some stuff and playing stuff, or like kind of figuring out like, oh, that's why that's why that band does that, or that's why that band does that, or that's why I like that song so much. Like, so for me, I think, yeah, I think that's just a big that's probably the best advice I have, because that'll give you the knowledge of just, you know, why everything works the way it does. And then outside of that, I mean, just do your thing, you know, be creative, do whatever you want to do. Like, it's music. I don't know. It's like, it's not something that, I don't know where I'm going with that. Never mind. I was going to go off on a tangent, but, so yeah, there you go. Music theory.
Fair enough. Fair enough in that. So, your first tune you ever learned?
To play?
Yeah.
Ooh, what would that have been? I think it would have been... It probably would have been Smells Like Teen Spirit, I think. Because it's so easy. 4 chords, you know? So, and it's, you know, just such a cool song. I still love that song to this day. So I think that was like when I was taking lessons, and the instructor said, hey, by the way, this is a power chord. It's an easy way to play something. I'm like, oh, cool. And like, oh, by the way, this is that Nirvana song. It's 4 of those power chords. Holy crap, I just learned a song. So yeah, that would have been the one.
I gotcha.
I'm sure it was a lot of people's first song.
Let's see. So, out of all the famous musicians, which one do you most admire the most?
Probably, I don't know. Again, I don't think I have a single answer for that. Yeah, if we're talking about someone whose guitar work and playing, I am influenced by every day and tend to mimic a lot, then you're probably looking at someone like Noel Gallagher. as far as the guy that made me want to play guitar in the first place, that was David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. And the first time that I heard the solo to Comfortably Numb, it was mind blowing, and literally, I'm not being over dramatic when I say that it was life changing, because without hearing that song, I honestly don't know if I would be playing music. Who knows what I would be doing? I might be an accountant or something, or I don't know. But so definitely those two. Glenn Phillips from Toad the Wet Sprocket. We talked a little bit about them. I think he's just an amazing songwriter. Just the metaphor and poetry that he comes up with when he's writing songs. Just absolutely mind-blowing what he's able to do. So I think as a writer and as trying to craft melodies, and even in the way that I sing, I often hear a lot of Glenn Phillips in that. I hear a lot of Rain Maida in the way that I sing. He's from Our Lady Peace. There's a lot of Jim Adkins from Jimmy Eat World in the way that I sort of approach melodies, and the way that also the way that I sing too. So there's a whole bunch of influences there for you. Alex Lifeson from Rush was a big guitar hero for me also too, and he's a guy that in a band like Rush, there's only one guitar player, but just the way his playing style, he finds a way to really fill a lot more space than just a single guitar player would normally be able to fill. He does a lot of very, very rarely do you hear him playing just simply a chord. A lot of times he's doing arpeggios and playing different notes in the scale of the chord, and that's a lot of times if I'm recording something, I tend to sort of fall back on that same sort of playing style, and I think that's where I get that from. That, and Tom Petty was sort of the same way too.
Yeah.
Which that was always kind of a combination of him and I'm blanking on his guitar player's name now. I think it was I'm blanking on it. But anyway, they were big influences for me as well. So I don't know how many people I just named, but all of them. 4. Yeah, at least. Springsteen is another huge influence on writing, and just in the way that he crafts melodies, and just the amount of passion that he puts into a live performance. So you can feel free to pick any of those ones that I named, and they're all probably equally hugely influential for me.
I gotcha. Well, with that, well, you get a swig of water now.
Swig of water time.
Before getting into... Because I know got a few more minutes in that. Except we had some really good stories at the beginning part of this.
Yeah, I feel like this has been a really good story time night.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably try to get squeeze 2 more songs in that before we get
2 or 2.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't. The other thing is, I don't want you to not have that, time to throw out music and that, especially with you bringing up stuff.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, let's. How much time do we have to work?
Oh, we got. Yeah, I want to say 14. Yeah, 14 minutes.
Okay. Let's trying to think of what to fill that with. I can do. Let's go. So I can play this one, which yeah. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do this. This one, I think, tends to go a little bit long, so I don't know if we'll have time to do 2 or not. But I wanted to get to this because this will put all my stuff through the ringer, and I brought it and I want to use it. So
pretty much.
Yeah. So I think the last time that I was on here, we sort of split time between you playing recorded stuff and me playing in studio, and I want to say we played Paradise off of the record.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so I will give
Canadian
you...
and...
Yeah, that's right. So let's do a little bit of Paradise here. I'll give you the live in studio version of that. So this is the song that I typically close all my sets with, and it's on Spotify and iTunes and Amazon and Apple Music and all that kind of stuff too. But I guess not this version of it. But and anyway, I'm just gonna shut up and play. So this is Paradise. No, I can't explain these feelings that surround me. Always feels the same whenever you're around me. You're always on my mind. And after all, just two wanderers in the dark. Find our way, guided by a common star. Let me look into your eyes. This feels so right. And let me into your world, 'cause I know it's paradise. Lost within a dream, no one knows how I feel. Yeah, 'cause nothing's what it seems, but I know this is real. You're always with me, yeah. And after all, we're just two ships on an open sea. We'll find our way back home if you just believe in me. To your eyes, this feels so right. Let me in to your world. I know it's paradise. Let me in to your life. It's where I want to be. Let me be one you need. You're one and only. Let me look to your eyes. 'Cause this feels so right. Let me in to your world, 'cause I know it's paradise. I know it's paradise. 'Cause 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 I know it's paradise.
You're not lying. That's a lot of depth.
Thank you. Yeah, that's why I always close with that one at the shows, because that's there's a lot going on in that song, and I get to use all of these gadgets and stuff too. But man, like that's one that I just never get tired of.
No.
It's the way that one builds towards the end and just does all the loops and layers and stuff, you know, all on top of each other. It's one of those ones that always tends to get people to kind of turn and look over, and it's a great way to just kind of end it and end the night on. And thank you guys. Good night. You know, it's
Yeah, listening to it on Spotify and that doesn't do it as much justice.
yeah,
Sort of seeing it, you know,
Yeah.
all that.
it's a bit of a different treatment live than it is in the studio. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it sure doesn't do it justice.
Thanks. I think.
Well, no, realizing how much more in depth than what I thought it was even at first.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that, though.
So yeah, that is a compliment.
And that is how I take it. So thank you, Seb. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's. I gotta admit, that's very impressive.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
I learned the insight, and it's like, oh my god, now I even appreciate it more.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, man. Thank you.
So, yeah, not including, yeah. If people want to check you out, where should they go?
Yeah, so I am on all of the, well, not all of the, but on most of the main social media platforms. So you can find me on Facebook. It's at Kevin Conaway Music for Facebook. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those are Kevin_Conaway. Make sure you're spelling Conaway right, by the way. It is Conaway, so there's two A's in there, because if you just type in Kevin Conway, that's not me, and I think that there is a musician named that. So you can also find me at my own website, which is kevinconaway.com. I'm on YouTube at Kevin Conaway Music. So hey, if you just do Google searches for me, you should be able to find me. You can find me at my music is up on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on Apple Music and Amazon and pretty much all of the online retail and online streaming service websites. So you can find me on there. If you just search for Kevin Conaway. You can find me on Untapped, and you can follow me there and find out what beers I'm drinking. So yeah, pretty much anywhere that there's internet, you can find me on if you just search for Kevin Conaway. Or you can go to my website, kevinconaway.com, and you can find all my links on that site too.
Not bloating. Pay attention to the end of the year and that.
Yeah.
Or a little sneak bit, into an EP.
Yeah.
Eventually album.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully later this year I should have a 6-song EP out, and then hopefully next year a full-length album.
See, now you put the deadline on me. I said, in the future.
Yeah. That's why I qualified it with the word hopefully.
See, I'm forgiving.
Yeah. That's how you give a non-committal commitment.
Ish.
Yeah.
In a way, being analytical of, well, I'm still working on it. It's not going to be quite, beginning of 2020. Or, that's happened amongst many people that come in and that. So
Right.
I always do that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it will happen at some point in the future. We'll say that. We'll go with that.
Ish.
Yeah, there you go.
I just felt like saying ish.
Yeah. It's a good add-on. I like it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But appreciate you coming, man.
Absolutely.
It's always
Thank you
a
again
pleasure.
for having me. I really appreciate you guys having me. I appreciate what you guys do for the local music scene in general. And so it's great to have an organization like you guys inviting us here and giving us this platform. So.
We wouldn't be nothing. It's true.
You could still play the Katy Perrys and Iggy Azaleas of the world and stuff like that. I don't know if she's even still a thing, but
without you guys taking the time coming up here and there, hey, I got new stuff and that, I'll come in that, but here, get that in the rotation too. Always the go-tos, good conversations. I know I could sit here and really analyze this all out. You like this? That I'm sitting here just drawing out all the
I'll put together
stuff?
the spreadsheet for you later if you want.
I sort of did that
Bringing
last
it back
year.
around.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I'm taking an Excel class.
Nice. I've taken a few of those in my day too.
I would hope.
Yeah.
Now I'm playing the accounting with spreadsheets too.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah, definitely without all those different things, not including even you guys promoting different things that we do, and that nothing would be, possible without.
Well, you're welcome.
You, McFarland. Except I wonder if next week when he shows up, he's going to bring about the whole sandwich thing again.
Oh man, that's right. We'll have to. Well, I'll wait to listen to that and see how that goes. When is that dude in here?
He's actually playing downstairs in Breakers. He didn't actually submit a thing for up here.
Oh really? Okay.
But maybe I can count them in.
Do those end up going on the air too, or is that just kind of like the Breakers shows?
It's more just
for the
live
whoever's down
and,
there. Okay, gotcha. All right.
Facebook Live stuff.
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Well, one way or another, I'll tune in.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll have fun.
Nice. I'm sure you guys will.
Just like the other guy earlier today, Davey, and that was, non-ongoing thing about, phone calls, because he has a show over on Black Squirrel and he doesn't take phone calls. Yeah, that post I posted late last night, that was sort of that ongoing joke.
Nice.
Since, beginning of fall.
Damn. All right. Nice.
And it's still going.
There you go, man. The best jokes are the ones that just keep continuing to repeat.
But, yeah, it's definitely a pleasure, sir.
Yeah,
like
likewise,
always.
Again, thanks again for having me. It's been fun coming in and doing this.
Cool.